Dear Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Defense of the Federal Republic of Germany, our generous hosts, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my thanks to Germany for bringing us together at this consequential moment. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. Our organization was founded on the conviction that peace is possible if we work as one united human family. That is what our peace operations are about. From preventing diplomacy to peacekeeping, from negotiating ceasefires to helping to implement them, from electoral support and observer missions to demining operations and protection of civilians, to the focus of today's ministerial meeting, peacekeeping. Excellencies, UN Blue Helmets are the most globally recognized symbol of the world's ability to come together to help countries move from conflict to peace. Peacekeepers hail from every corner of the world, but they are united in their commitment to peace. As we meet today, UN peacekeepers are hard at work helping to ensure that ceasefires are respected, protecting civilians caught in the line of fire, helping provide the conditions for life-saving aid to flow to those in need, and laying the foundations for long-term recovery. In trouble spots around the world, blue helmets can mean the difference between life and death. And they are also a clear demonstration of the power of multilateral action to maintain, achieve, and sustain peace. There is a long list of countries that have achieved durable peace with the support of UN peacekeeping, including Cambodia, Côte d'Ivoire, El Salvador, Liberia, Namibia, Mozambique, Sierra Leone, and Timor-Leste. Many of these countries now themselves contribute troops. At the same time, we recognize that peace comes at a price. Through the decades, 4,400 peacekeepers have fallen in the line of duty. Their service and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor all those that lost their lives in the pursuit of peace. Thank you. Excellencies, we owe it to peacekeepers and the populations they protect to continue strengthening their ability to answer this call to peace, and to do so in the face of daunting challenges. Complex, intertwined, and frequently borderless conflicts, growing polarization and division around the globe, targeting of peacekeepers through deadly misinformation spreading through social media, terrorism and transnational crime which find fertile ground in instability, the ongoing climate crisis that is exacerbating conflict while leaving more of the planet uninhabitable, all the continued trampling of international law and international humanitarian law. As a result, we are now facing the highest number of conflicts since the foundation of the United Nations and record number of people fleeing across borders in search of safety and refuge. We must recognize that peacekeeping operations are only as effective as the mandates directing them, and can struggle in contexts where political support and clearly defined outcomes and solutions are absent or elusive. Meanwhile, we see increasing difference of views around how peacekeeping operations should work, under what circumstances, with what mandates they should be deployed, and for how long. and we face dramatic financial constraints across the board. We have worked to adapt in the face of these challenges, but we need to do more. And today I want to highlight 3 areas of focus. First, help us shape peacekeeping operations that are fit for the future. The Pact for the Future called for a review of peace operations, including peacekeeping. The review will examine how we can make peacekeeping operations more adaptable, flexible, and resilient, while recognizing the limitations in situations where there is little or no peace to keep. It will also aim to critically examine the tools we have today and propose concrete recommendations to make them fit for the future. Through this review, we must ensure that the United Nations is prepared to deploy peace operations tailored to each individual conflict while preparing for the challenges of tomorrow. We can draw inspiration from our UNIFIL operation, which recently developed an adaptation plan to keep peace along the blue line and ensure life-saving aid can flow to civilians in southern Lebanon. In the Central African Republic, we see MINUSCA protecting civilians and assisting the government to extend its reach beyond the capital where people are in desperate need. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, despite ongoing fighting, UN peacekeepers remain in the field protecting vulnerable populations. And we are also seeking efficiencies through partnerships from member states to regional and sub-regional organizations to local communities. Most important among them is our strong partnership with the African Union. Security Council Resolution 2719 has lifted this partnership to a new level as we work to establish peace enforcement missions under the EU's responsibility, supported by the United Nations through assessed contributions. Today, the review of peace operations will need to be informed and inspired by your views. Member states make peacekeeping possible, and they must lead the way as we strengthen it for the future. Second, as we make our operations more adaptable and flexible, we need to do the same in the use of our resources. Peace operations can only succeed when backed by robust mandates and clear, predictable and sustained contributions, both financial and logistical. But these are tough times for the financing of our work across the board. Peacekeeping is no exception. It is crucial that we are able to use the increasingly limited resources we have and use them well. And this requires more flexible rules and processes. This means updating our approach to abolishing or establishing positions and working with troop-contributing countries to ensure we can deliver. It means working with member states and the UN Security Council to ensure that any new mandates are prioritized and achievable with the resources available and with a clear exit strategy. And it means driving efficiencies and improvements across our work in light of the continued funding challenges we face. Our review of peace operations will work hand in hand with our UN80 initiative to ensure we maximize efficiencies wherever possible, supported at every step by member states. We look forward to your government's support and ideas as we tackle these challenges together.
Third, we need your political support, including through the pledges you will make tomorrow. Peace operations cannot succeed in the absence of a political solution. Together, we need to mobilize greater support for political
toutes les
solutions
missions de maintien
across
de la paix.
our peacekeeping missions.
Faire avancer ces solutions
Pursuing
politiques
these
nécessite
political
d'avoir
solutions
les moyens
requires
nécessaires
adequate
pour
means
mener à bien nos
of
opérations,
delivering our operations,
notamment un soutien
including
politique unifié
unified
de la part
political
des États
support
membres,
from member states,
un leadership fort,
strong
des
leadership,
troupes bien préparées,
well-trained troops,
du matériel
equipment,
et des
and
technologies.
technology.
Ces éléments peuvent renforcer
These
nos
can
opérations
strengthen our
et
operations
améliorer
and
sensiblement
make
la
a
vie des
real
gens.
difference in people's lives.
Cela nécessite aussi un soutien
And
de
it
tous les
requires
États
the
membres
support of
pour
all
assurer
member
la
states
sécurité des casques
to
bleus
ensure the
sur le
safety
terrain,
and
ainsi que
security
le plein respect
of
des
United
privilèges et
Nations
immunités
peacekeepers in
pertinentes
the field
de
and the
notre
full implementation
organisation
of the
et
relevant
de son personnel.
privileges and immunities
Nous
of the
sommes
organization
profondément
and
reconnaissants
its
de
personnel.
votre soutien
We are deeply
et des
grateful
contributions
for the
concrètes
support
que nombre
and for the
d'entre vous
concrete
annoncent
pledges
demain.
so many of you will announce tomorrow.
Excellences,
Your
le
Excellencies,
budget des
with a budget
opérations
shared
de
by
paix des
all
Nations
193 member
réparti
states
entre les
and representing a
193 États
tiny
membres
fraction
ne
of global
représente qu'une infime
military
partie des
spending,
dépenses militaires mondiales, environ
around
0,5%.
1/2%.
Ces opérations demeurent
UN
donc
peacekeeping
l'un des
remains
moyens les plus
one of the most
efficaces et les plus
effective
économiques
and cost-effective
pour consolider la
tools
paix
to
et la
build
sécurité
international peace
internationale.
and security.
Toutefois,
But
leur force est
it's
tributaire
only
de
as strong as
l'engagement
member
des États
states'
membres à leur
commitment
égard.
to it.
Malheureusement,
Unfortunately,
les opérations de maintien de
peacekeeping
la paix
operations
sont
have been
soumises à de
facing
sérieux
serious
problèmes de
liquidity
liquidité.
problems.
Il est absolument
It is absolutely
essentiel
essential that all
que
member
tous les
states
États membres
respect
respectent leurs
their
obligations
financial
financières
obligations,
en payant leurs
paying their
contributions
contributions
intégralement
in full
et dans
and
les temps.
on time.
Aujourd'hui,
Now,
plus que jamais,
more than ever,
le monde
the
a
world
besoin de
needs
l'ONU.
the United
Et
Nations.
l'ONU a besoin que les
And the United
opérations de
Nations
maintien de la paix
needs
disposent de tous les
peacekeeping
moyens nécessaires
that is fully
pour faire
equipped
face aux
for
réalités
today's
d'aujourd'hui
realities
et relever
and
les
tomorrow's
défis de demain.
challenges.
Ensemble,
Together,
faisons en sorte que les
let's shape
opérations de
the
maintien de la
UN
paix de
peacekeeping
l'ONU
operations
répondent aux
that the
défis du
challenges
moment,
require,
aux attentes des
that
États membres,
member states
et aux besoins
demand,
légitimes
and that
de
our
nos soldats
peacekeepers
et
and the
soldats
people
de la
they
paix
support
et
need
personnes
and
à qui ils
deserve.
viennent en aide. Je vous remercie.
Thank you for your attention.